How it feel to be a dad, how it feel to be a man. You provide by any means, and we sticking to the plan. Yeah, I do this for my seed. Come and listen, come and see. Remember, it was just me. Now it's all about me. Lead by example. This for my child. I swear that I got you for life. Went from the court to talking about buckets. Now we talking Pampers and wipes. I really love this though. Look at you and get inspired. You the fuel to my fire. Come here, let me change your diaper. Diaper Dads.
Yo, what is the deal? We are back again. It's your boy GQ.
It's your boy Boog. Welcome back to Diaper Dads Podcast, Season 5. GQ, it's a new year. We just dropped the episode. New year, new mental. Man, and we are already starting off with some bullshit coming the first day of the year.
No, you are on your bullshit. I'm riding smooth. I'm already into a new day. I was just telling Jasmine, like, yo, the year I really think the year gonna go by fast because I feel like it's already kind of tomorrow. It's already January 2nd to me. The night's already here. The day's already over. I really feel like this is the year that we kind of really gonna be back on track and really start to live our life and just move, because the past 2.5 years, 2 years, I felt like COVID, and then things kind of slowed down. Some people getting sick, some people not getting sick, slowly getting into the mix, slowly doing this, slowly doing that. I feel like this year we kind of like, all right, yo, we know what to do for COVID. We in the mix. We about to get this shit shaken. We about to start getting back to the normal. You know what I mean?
No, nigga, this some more random shit's gonna happen now. I already know the vibes. It's just I'm already prepared for it. Honestly, like I'm just gonna take this year with another grain of salt. You know what I mean? I got a lot of big things coming up this year. You know what I mean? The wedding coming up. We looking to get a crib. I got some things that I'm trying to set in stone, but outside of that, like, this shit is just gonna be another day to me.
Hold on, before you go, man. Hey, yo, you got a guest today, man. Come on, man.
No, we do got a guest. We do.
You getting in the mix? We got a guest, man. Come on.
I'm not getting in the mix. I've told everybody about that shit, like 3 or 4 episodes. They know what's happening coming up with me. But listen, we got a special guest with us today. The OG podcaster. He's probably one of the first dudes that I've known before pregame on the hill doing the pod. Right? This was back when this shit was just a thought. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was just waiting. For the time for him to have a child. And boom, look where we are. 2023. He's here. He's arrived. We got my boy Shane McDuffie. Excuse me. We got 2 Shanes in the room now. This is Big Bro. A fantastic guy. I can't wait for you guys to hear his insight. Shane, tell me a little more about yourself.
Man, thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I was always like interested in like being a guest, but then I was like, I don't know when I'm having a kid. I don't know when I would actually be a guest. I don't know what insight I could give you. And hold
on, before you even talk about the kid, just I want you to kind of explain the whole podcast thing, because like we talked about it with Obi, but you was doing it, but like before Obi, right? I just want someone to listen to, just like, I want some people to just hear about your thought process and like what made you really want to go that route or do the things that you wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So, first getting into podcasting, when I first got into it, it was around this time that I'm a big Joe Budden fan. So like, it was around the time he had started his. It was around that time. I don't think I started mine because of him, but it was around that same time. And, I had a friend come to me. He was like, yo, you're mad funny on Twitter. Yeah. And it seems like, man, people just respond to you, anything you say. So he was like, yo, you think you'd be interested in doing a podcast? I'll record it. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And when I first started doing it, I was kind of, I was nervous. I was like, yo, who would actually listen to just me talk? Like, it was just literally me talking from anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, just about random topics. And then, things started to catch on for me as one person, me and my little podcast. It's not as big as y'all podcast is now, but at the time that, I was doing my podcast, if I'm getting like 500 people to listen to me, just me, because when I first started, it was just me. If I'm getting 300 to 500 people to listen to just me, I was like,
that's a lot.
I was like, damn. I was like, who wants to listen to me, man? And then so, that's what I really started to get into it. I enjoyed it. And then, just the regular stuff happens. Like, you guys have a cohesiveness as co-host. Eventually, things just don't work out. That's the best way to put it. So, I got to learn the ups and the downs, and it was just an overall good experience, though.
That's good. That's good. I think it's like you were saying, the whole thought of like who would listen to us, I think was also something I was thinking about too when we did it with Obi. I was just like, niggas be thinking we funny, but I don't know if people want to listen to us. You know what I mean? But the more and more, like, you just be talking, and some things might be true, some things might be just entertainment. You really start to understand people just want to grasp on the shit. Niggas just, it's entertainment to people. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that. But it's mind blowing to just think people actually want to listen to you, yo.
Oh, and that's I think that's the craziest part. It's like, somebody will really sit down. They're like, yo, I listen to you while I'm in the car. Like, people hit me like, yo, when the next episode coming?
Yes.
I was like at the time I went something like, yo, it's over. Like, but like, it's a blessing to even have that gift, yo. It's a gift. It's a gift, man. Like,
you think so?
It's a gift to be able to do this. It is. It's a gift. Not everybody can do it, bro.
Okay. All right.
Hard. It's one of those things where it's like, never let anybody tell you what you do isn't a gift and it's not special. Because if it wasn't special, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be successful at it. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's taught me. I think everything I've kind of done, whether just me on Twitter or me having a blog at one point, it was like, yo, it's a gift to be able to write and be able to catch people's attention. It's something very rare. Not everybody has that gift to gab.
One thing I can say that I know you've been on is like the social media thing. Like, I don't have a Twitter. I don't have an Instagram. I just have a Facebook. But I remember Obi and them used to always mention, like, this nigga Shane, anytime he say something about basketball, niggas be on that shit. You feel me? And I feel like that, I've always said social media is really, it's just, man, that should just be changing the game about things. And I feel like you being in that social media lane, that Twitter, Instagram, I think that also gives you an advantage for like to just touch more people. You know what I mean? Because I always like, I'm a funny dude. I know a lot of people, but I feel like sometimes I kind of close my ability to touch so many people just because I'm not on social media. I go places, niggas like, what's your IG? I'm like, I don't got IG. You can follow me on the podcast. I'm like, what's your Twitter? I'm like, I ain't got a Twitter yet. Follow me on Facebook.
Friend me. But yo, that's another thing though, is that like when you look at it from this perspective, like especially when it comes to social media and podcasting, I realize and like I listen to a lot of shit, but of course Wallow's 267 always sticks with me. But he's like, you can't really, when you get into this type of art, that like Instagram becomes more so informative than it does for a popularity contest, right? So instead of me worrying about all my likes that I'm getting, I need to be able to just think about, just flip your train of thought to who am I going to touch just with this information? If they see it, as long as they see it, they might not hit the like button. Niggas be drunk, niggas be high. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But like, as long as they see it and it's presented to them, you're able to touch it. It grows pretty quickly. That's something I've learned throughout this time, throughout this downtime, this long ass downtime that we had.
Long ass downtime, bro.
Yeah, no, we had 5 months off. Niggas had, listen, we had bachelor parties. We had a bunch of shit going on. But listen, before we get into anything else, I'm wearing a special hoodie. Y'all motherfuckers need to go get your merch. Diaper Dads. It's on our fucking podcast. We got the hoodies. We got the t-shirts. We got a limited supply left. We need you guys to get on it. Link is in the bio. Link is in our bio on our Instagram. Make sure you check it out.
I'm just saying, I gotta see that link. I gotta see that link, bro.
It's in that link tree. We got it. Don't you worry. You want it? We got it. We got this.
I always support everybody's stuff, man. So I gotta make sure I go out and I gotta get a hoodie for sure.
We got your t-shirt. We got your t-shirt. We got the hoodie.
No, I got two of them joints. Them joints are they the joint that the baby just wants to just spit up on all the time.
Oh, so they shit rags. It makes more sense now. Well, you want
perfect transition, man, to the dad life, man. Like, once again, for the people that are listening, you know, Shane just recently had a baby last year in 2022, so congratulations on that, man. I think a lot of people don't really understand, like, just having a baby is it's one of the biggest gifts you can get from God, man. Just new life. And I want to hear, like, what are some of your insights on, like, just having a kid now? Do you look at life differently? What things do you think has changed you since, you know, you had your daughter, and just like you being who you are now to the Shane that we know before you had a kid?
I mean, everything just changes, right? It's like my sleeping pattern, and I'm a dude that stays up really late, so like I'm always tired now. Like I'm real tired now, and it's just finding time for me to do stuff, like everything. Like it's a lot of little things mostly. It's a lot of little things that just change, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. You know what I mean? I usually get on the game. I play Call of Duty, and I'll get on there with my guys from Maryland. You know, some of my main guys. We get on there same time every day. This is our thing. We talk shit on the game, and it's like, yo, this is our time to bond. Because I've only been in Gainesville for like a year and a half, and I don't really know a lot of people. So, get on the game. Now I got a baby, so damn. So when do we get on the game? You know, I might gotta wait till the baby sleep. We put her to bed around like 8:30. She'll be back by 9. Maybe I'll give him the game late. You know, or just right after work. I like to chill. You know what I'm saying? I work at home all day, which is already very tough. So after I get off work, I might want to watch some shows. I gotta get the baby.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. No matter of fact, before I get the baby, I gotta go walk the dogs, and I gotta go get the baby because I got 2 dogs. You know what I'm saying? So
dogs, man.
Got 2 dogs.
Listen,
so you got 3 kids.
Basically, he does.
Dogs are babies that never grow.
So you got 3 kids.
You know, it's very tough. It's very tough. It makes it difficult, but at the same time, every day with your baby, you're realizing something new. Now I know why, you know, you got your crazy ass people on Facebook that every accomplishment their kid does, they put it on there. They're like, well, my kid is special. My kid is he going to be the tallest? Is he going to be the fastest? He can do this before your kid can do it. You know, that whole thing, because you get so enamored with your kid. You're like, yo, I can't believe, yo, she just smiled. Yo, this is nuts. Or she just laughed. So your mindset changes. It's like the end of the Grinch, right? You know, your heart gets 3 times bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you see,
that's a bar.
See child, man.
That's a bar. Different. That's a massive bar right there. So listen, so you touched on something. I had a question for you. When you were talking about you working from home, and having your daughter around, do you find that harder? Do you wish that you were able to go into the office more? Like, do you think, to get that mental break from being a parent? Because, like, quite frankly, you a parent 20, like, no bullshit. Because like when you work from home and you have your child there, I'll be ready to throw my kids out the window. But that's just me. You know what I mean? Like I go crazy. But like for somebody who's new into this environment, to this world, like, do you wish that you had that 8 hours or 4 hours to go run to a meeting, or you know what I mean?
Definitely there's times. You know, my in-laws live with us because they're getting a house built in Texas. So
That's a blessing.
they're living what it is, but also, you know, that could be a whole new podcast right there. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know, there's that. So it's a different, you know, obviously we get help while I'm at work and my wife's at work. I'm on the second floor, so I don't get to see a lot. I might hear the baby crying, which I'm like, damn, I might go downstairs and see what's going on. Like, hey, everything good? My wife is already down there. And then, you know, my mother-in-law is down there taking care of the baby the whole time. So it's different. It's definitely different. I do wish at times like, damn, I wish there was an office for me to go to, man. Because, you know, not dealing, because it's not like it's a bad experience with my in-laws being here, but with them being here, and I got a baby, and then I have the 2 dogs like we talked about. I'm like, damn, you know, I feel like a Southwest commercial. Yo, can I get away?
Yeah.
What can I do? You know what I'm saying? So,
nah, I totally agree, man, and I just be telling people like, it sounds good working from home, like when you're a single person, but like when you have multiple people in the house, sometimes it can become mentally draining at a point, just because like there's so much your head has to, you know, comprehend and go through. And it's just, sometimes it can just become like very, very overwhelmed. Mind you, I don't have my in-laws that live with me, but I was in a position where my wife had to go back to work, and it was me and my sister that watched Nova Rose for like 6 months, 7 months while I was working. Like we would take turns. Like Jasmine would go to work. At first, my mom was coming here. She would help me. Like and I had a job that was like really, really demanding. Like them niggas was on me. Like, no, we need this right now. We need this right now. So like I literally had to go down in the basement, like really do my shit. And then my mom would be upstairs, and then my sister, me and her. But we did that for like 8 months. And it came to a point where I was just like, I told my boss, I was like, yo, I got to come into the office at least one time a week. Like, I have to. So Jasmine, too, I was like, yo, Jasmine, we got to put her in daycare because, like, mentally, I was drained. I was drained. And this was at the point where they didn't have the hoops up. So, like, it was no hooping. It was, niggas still wasn't hooping. And if it was hooping, it was only half court. So like, I mentally like couldn't get right. Like I go to the gym, play half court, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, this shit ain't even the same, bro. This ain't even the same. But I hear you and I feel for you, man, because like, it's great being a dad. But at that time, it just was, man. It was a lot on me, man. It was like, man, I don't know if I could do this for like 4 years straight.
Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like I don't even think. I don't know how mentally fucked up I would be if I was out. Like if I was a new parent and I was working from home at the same time, I couldn't do that shit. I had to ease myself into it because remember I was when the kids were born, I was working 12 hours a day. 10, 12 hours a day. So I was never home. But when I did come home, it was game on. There was no like Shane was saying, like there was no like, oh, I want to go take a break. I want to go take me a half-hour shit or something like that. I'm watching on Instagram some shit. I can't do that. I got to go clean somebody else's shit. I got to do this, got to do that. But when I got into the work from home life, I still have my kids and still watching by their grandparents. But those days where like now, like in a year, we usually take like the last couple of weeks off. It's like it's chaos now because I didn't take off this last couple of weeks for work, so I'm working with the kids, trying to make sure everyone's taken care of. And I know Ashley needs a break here, and it's just too much to handle. So, but I think I'm seasoned enough now, being 3 years into it, kind of makes it just easier. You know what I mean? Kids just They just gonna do what they're gonna do. You start to rely on their better judgment a little bit more when you got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like there's sometimes you're just like, whatever. Like if I don't, as long as you're not hurting yourself, then that's the only thing I need you not to do, or hurting somebody else. Outside of that, bro, I'm serious.
Yo,
dog. Like there's times.
You know what? I really think Shane got it he got it maybe a tad bit easier because your daughter isn't walking yet, is she?
No, not even crawling.
See? Yeah. So she's stationary. She's still like in the stationary, but like, yo, when they start walking, they start getting to talking.
Listen, I told Ashley this shit on it was like 2 days before Christmas. I was like, yo, if we were stuck in the pandemic right now, at this age, at this current time, I don't think we would have lasted. 100%, really? Bro. Yes. Like because the reason why is because we would have lasted, but it would have been a lot of strain on a lot of people.
Go back.
No, it would have been.
You'd have lasted.
Nah, we'd have been there. Whatever. Anyway, it would have been a lot of strain on a lot of people because now these kids, they can talk, they can walk, they have free roam in the house, they get in the shit, they whine all day, they always want something. Like it is just, and they always fight each other, and it would have been a strain on everybody. It would have been hard as hell.
You got twins, bro.
Different, whatever. Yeah. At least like during the pandemic, like with the pandemic, huh?
No, I said, and they always want you to play with them.
Not they don't want nothing to do with me.
Oh they play with each other now, right?
No, they don't. They don't even. They play with each other a little bit here and there, but like half the time they be fighting each other. Like they just argue all day. They literally just argue all day, and then I just let them. Like today, we got this little activity like corner for him, and Bo was sitting at the top. I said, "Bo, get down." He told me he said no pretty confidently. I said, "Bro, get off." Said no pretty confidently again, too, a little bit more bass in his voice. All right, listen, the next time you're on your own, if you fall off, that is on you. And I do not come to be crying. But you just like, when you had those, anybody has those moments, especially at this age, like, you can only tell them so many times. At some point, you have to learn.
I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for the no.
Oh, yeah. Boy, today was a lot of no's. We took them everywhere today.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
You're gonna blink and it'll be here tomorrow. Like real shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I ain't gonna, especially with this year going by fast, I believe. You know, you gonna be like, yeah, man, like she gonna start coming upstairs, knocking on the door. Daddy, you done the work? You done work? Are you done work? Are you done work? Are you done work?
Oh, they're repeating myself. Oh, that is annoying. That shit is annoying as fuck, dude. That shit's annoying as hell. I'm sorry, man. These kids, fuck that shit. That shit is. I would literally, Cassidy she'll repeat herself 10 times while I'm doing what she needs me to get done. No, bro, that shit is.
Another topic we wanted to talk about too is, you know, we all have girls. Obviously, Lawrence has a boy. He's been blessed to have, you know, the twins. But when you found out you were having a kid, was there any thought process of the gender you wanted, or any like, oh man, I wanted this? What was your thought process when you found out you was gonna have a kid?
All right, so we had a Zoom. We had a Zoom with friends and family. You know, we had brunch. People came over. Like,
this a gender reveal?
Yeah, for the gender reveal.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm like, all right, come on now.
Nerve-wracking, right? That shit nerve-wracking as hell.
Back up. Because we at the gender reveal. I'm trying to figure out why are you saying what, you know, before the gender reveal, what you wanted. You wanted a boy?
I wanted a boy for a lot of different, only a few different reasons, right?
Break them down for us.
Person with my last name. So that means something. That means something to me.
Again, yo.
You know what I'm saying? I have to be able to carry on that line. My last name holds something really crazy. Like the story, I'm the only person with my last name. Like my last name was it was misspelled on my birth certificate. So I'm McDuffie. My McDuffie last name is E. So that's already there. So I have like with me thinking like that, I said, damn, I need a boy. You know, a boy might be a little bit easier. And as far as, you know, basically I was like, damn, if I have a girl, it like the certain things that I don't want to have to be worried about with this world, the way the world is right now. Scared for like having a girl, man. I was scared. I was like, yo, girls in this day and age, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I think being a young boy is hard as well, but I can explain that a little bit better to another boy. You know, because I'm a man, exactly. So, you know, having a girl, I was like, damn, it's gonna be tough. So I was there, I was like waiting, I'm like, all right, you know, I have a boy, gonna be good, be able to take my little man, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, all that man shit that you be like, yo, nah, I gotta have a son. I have sons, you know what I'm saying? And then gender reveal came. we had like a cake. Somebody made the cake. It was actually amazing. It looked like a coffee mug. And cut into it, see the inside. Damn.
Right? Yeah, right then and there, when you saw the pink, like, what was that? Like, what was in your head? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I said, life just got a little harder. Life just got a little harder. You know what I mean? I love my wife, man, but if my kid gonna be exactly like my wife, I said, shit, if I'm gonna have two of them in the house, I said, God damn, I'm gonna have to get my shit
Yo,
right,
you be surprised though. You be surprised. Cassidy acts like me, bro. Like she's like a spin. Like, it's like disgusting how much like she is like me. So you might luck out in that department. Just saying.
Sure, but initially you're like, shit.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
You know, until you like have the baby, and then the baby's here, and then everybody's like, that baby looks just like Shane. Like, that's little Shane.
Those are the last words a woman want to hear.
Oh, for sure. You know, she'll be like, oh, I don't care. I'm like,
right. You care, bro. Get out of there.
Yeah, you know.
that's
Shane, what about you, Mr. Two Girls?
I told the story in like season 1. I was depressed the first day. I was depressed. Jasmine knows it. Everybody know it. Like, I was depressed. We had just got back from Florida, and we had the gender reveal. Same thing with you. Like, yo, man, you know, I'm. It's funny because my dad, he has 3 brothers, and only two of them had a boy, right? Me and my other cousin, which ended up getting all the hype. And he not gonna have a kid. I don't think he's gonna have a kid. He just like, you know, he living his life, he doing whatever he's doing. But me, I was the only boy that was gonna have a kid, have family, blah blah blah, do the thing. So I was like, yo, I gotta let this Brown name live on. Like, after this, it's a drop off. Like, it's done. Like, it's no, if I gotta do it. And, you know, I'm like, my dad always like, yo, my dad like, don't worry, man. You getting a boy, man. You just like me. Like, you gonna pop one out.
Oh, they hyping you up off the muscle.
Everybody, anywhere I went, bro. I went to the gym. I went to work. Everyone was like, yo, this shit is easy, bro. You having a boy, yo. I could feel that shit. And that shit came, and she was like, yo, it's a girl. I said, stop playing. That's exactly my words. I was like, stop playing. She was like, nah, like, it's really a girl. I was like, okay, all right. We went home, and I went up to the guest room. I closed the door, and I just laid in the room, yo. I was so sad. And that was the only time I was sad. And then I had got up, and I was like, all right, man, I'm over this shit. And I was like, man, this shit about to be good. And then I hit my buddy Josh up because he had 2 girls. He was like, yo, bro. He was like, man, these girls going to be the best thing that probably ever happened to you, yo. And I was like, he was like, yo, I was depressed too. He was like, I never told anyone, but he was like, yo, I was sick to my stomach when I found out I was having a girl my first time. I was like, dang, for real? So that kind of made me feel a little bit better. And then he was just like, nah, man, like, you know, I got 2 girls now. And he was like, yo, it's probably one of the best things ever. But I still don't believe that shit. I still don't believe that shit. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. The reason I don't really believe this shit is because I think about Steph Curry, right? He has 2 girls. Everyone knows Riley, right? Because she was in the finals. She was on, you know, the press conference with him. But now that he has a son, he really has the opportunity to do the things that his dad did with him, right? And like that shit really hit me because Riley, she was never able to go in the locker room, right? She's never going to be able to go in the locker room. She's never going to have that experience. So like, it's either like, you know, she stays out and I do my thing in my locker room. But like when you have a son, bro, no matter if they 1 year old to 18 years old, bro, that experience of them just going in the locker room with everybody else, Klay Thompson, like, and we're not just talking about like being in a locker room with like Porzingis and Paul and like Bradley Beal. We talk about being in the locker room with literally like legends, like Klay Thompson, Hall of Famers, bro. Like, and to mention like my dad is a Hall of Famer, so like Steve Kerr, like this is like phenomenal. Like I see him carrying his son, I'm like, dang, yo, that's like he really like this the shit he's looking for in life. And to me, like that's something that, you know, you're never gonna experience if you have all girls, you know, like it's gonna be certain things that you do get, but there's gonna be those little things that you're not gonna be able to do. And that to me be kind of like tweaking me a little bit, you know, it'd be hurting me, but you know, I always think about Kobe.
I was just gonna say, leading up to me having, you know, Sage, like I remember the Kobe thing, right? I was coaching at the time and I was really starting to follow Kobe more as he was retired.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest Kobe guy. You know what I mean? So just following him and seeing what he was doing as a father, I was really like, you know what? I can't wait till I have a kid. If I have a daughter, I would do the same thing like Kobe did, you know. Hopefully, I'm fortunate enough to be able to sit floor seats with my daughter at a game and do those type of things. And, you know, I don't want to coach her, but if I had to, I would, you know, do those type of things. And especially even up to his death, you know what I mean? It hurt me in a different way. You know what I mean? I'm not the most emotional person, but when that happened, I was like, it really fucked with me. So then me having a girl, flash forward, me having a girl, I was like, damn. I was like, all I could think about was like Kobe. So then it put me in like a whole different mind state. And it's like, I be thinking like 24. I be thinking Kobe, dog. Like, yo, you gotta have that mindset, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen.
Never thought in a million years I would have been like thinking like that about like Kobe and the way he coached his daughter and all the positive things. All that stuff means something, man. For when you have daughters, it means not that it doesn't mean anything if you have a son, but with a daughter, man, it just, I don't know. It just feels like you gotta be a little bit more delicate about everything. And
you definitely do, man. And like I feel like there's, man, I want to say like it's more weight on your shoulder when you have a son, but like I really feel like it's more weight on your shoulders when you have a daughter for them to be the best they can be. Because I just feel like they just look up to you, man. Like you might have a mother, but like your girl, yo, they gonna be their fathers are their first love. So like they fall in love with like the man that you are, the things that you do. Even you might be a terrible person and this, that, and the third, but you like a man, he always finds his way back to like being delicate with a girl or, you know, like, hey, you know, don't worry, like I you know, I fucked up, but I'm gonna be here. Like, you know, don't worry, like, you know, everything gonna be okay. You know what I mean? The shit that niggas be saying, like this, that, and the third. But I feel like women, yo, they always just look up to their dad, man, and like it's like that's how I be looking at like, yo, I got to be the best person I could be for these girls, yo. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts, yo. Like, these brown girls, I don't care if they don't play basketball. I don't care if they don't do sports. But at the end of the day, when they get married, they do an accomplishment. Somebody gonna say, yo, Shane raised them girls right, bro. That's the end of the
that's real.
That's the story, yo. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had shed a couple of tears the day I found I had another girl just off of that. I was listening to Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, yo, bro, like, that's it.
Album.
Fire.
That album touched like heartstrings. I can't even explain it, bro. That shit speaks to you. Shit speaks to you, bro.
Bro,
what you got to say, Lawrence?
Yeah, I've been sitting just chill. I'm in the cut. Letting y'all just motherfucker have the floor.
Lawrence like, man, I got a boy, man.
No bullshit though. No bullshit though. You can ask anybody in my family. Like, I wanted all girls. I thought I was going to have 2 girls.
Oh man, you one of them, yo. See, I gotta start saying that type of stuff because I feel like the people that say that, they get boys.
Yeah.
I literally thought I was having 2 girls. The way the universe worked for me in life growing up with a house full of women, I'm accustomed to living with women, you know what I mean? Like with my mom, my sister, my niece, and all those 3 different stages of life, like with the mother, sister who was as a teenager, coming into a young adult, and then also seeing a baby girl being raised into what she is today. I already knew. I was like, yo, our gender reveal, we had pins, and everybody picked one out, and I picked 2. I had 2 girls, bro, on my chest. I swear to God. And I literally was like, yep, this is my calling. Like, it's gonna be a cakewalk for me. And what it's crazy because, like, fast forward now, like, I have an easier time connecting with Cassidy because of her mannerisms and the way she acts than it is sometimes to connect with Bo, because Bo's such a busybody. He's always on the go, and Ashley's like that. So it's easy for Ashley to connect with him on that level. But yeah, I thought I was gonna have all girls, and I wasn't gonna try to have a boy neither. I was just gonna keep that shit and just keep that shit moving. Just because I already knew.
So you never thought about the whole like aspect of like you never being able to like do dad stuff with a son? Because that stuff always stuck with me. Like, you know what I mean? I was just always ready. I mean, I was ready for whatever was presented to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, like those T-ball, basketball, but you know what I mean? Like, who's to say Cassidy didn't want to do it? I was so invested. And even with Bo, like, that boy may not play basketball. He may not have any type of. I don't even be thinking about the sports anymore, bro.
Not the sports aspect, but that's just typically what people.
Shane, I don't be thinking about it, bro. Because
that's what people typically think about, though.
I know, but to me, it's more than that. It's like, damn, I ain't gonna get to teach this nigga how to pee, or like I ain't gonna be able to like teach this nigga how to get girls. I ain't gonna be able to teach this nigga like how to change a tire, like how to do man stuff. Like those are the things I think about. Like I never really think about sports just because like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? And I was also a late bloomer. My dad never was like, yo, you got to play soccer or yo, you got to play basketball. It was just something I grew to love. And that's how I believe, things that happen too.
And then like my mind state was, there's those events that, you know what I mean, that I could miss out, but who's to say that I can't teach my daughter how to change a tire? I also, most importantly, it was more of I'm going to show my daughters how a man is supposed to treat them necessarily.
Yeah.
So like looking at it from that, just was like, it wasn't like those events of like teaching somebody how to pee. Like I taught Cassie how to pee. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things to me. Like I'm cool with being either a part of the event and we ride this thing together. Like me and Bo, like when we go places together one-on-one, we have a fucking ball. You know what I mean? Like that's a cool thing. It's like, that's my little man. It's I get that. I'm fortunate enough to have that connection. But on the same note, like when I jump over with Cassidy, like I still find just as much joy in showing her what a true man is than I do when it comes to those being able to share those events with Bo. So it's both the same for me.
Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, man.
Oh, here we go. Look, I was waiting for it. I knew this nigga was sounding too politically correct early. I'm like, this motherfucker full of shit. Look, here he comes.
You gotta start off real. You gotta start off
No,
easy,
we don't.
man.
That's not. No, we not. It's 2023, January 1st. This year's already fucked up as it is. We ready to go.
He keeps saying that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. She playing basketball, man. She gotta play. She gotta play.
She gotta play. Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
I like this.
Wow.
I like this.
I like the way this is going.
She has to, bro, because obviously I'm not gonna be able to teach her that woman stuff. That's what my wife is here for. You know what I mean? My wife and her family, they're very hands-on about a lot of stuff, which is good, man. They, you know, what they bring to the table is in my wife, and she's all over that, you know, just being like, just everything, you know, about manners, just everything about life. The way they approach it is way differently than me.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying the only thing that I can teach my daughter is basketball, but I think just certain life lessons, even if she's not good, I don't care if she's the greatest or the worst, you know what I mean? But to, you know, kind of put her through that and making sure she learns certain things. Like my wife almost scored 1,000 points in college. It would be a disservice for my daughter to be like, I want her to know her mother was, you know, look what your mother did, and look where she's at now. She didn't want to play basketball professionally. She said she had came back from like this trip from Italy, and she told her pops, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting a job. I'm done." He was like, that hurt his feelings.
So, not to cut you off,
Go ahead and hit him.
but
hit him, Lawrence.
so you say you want her. She has no choice but to dribble the ball, right?
She gonna play.
Basically, that's basically what you're saying. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I'm comparing apples to apples.
Yeah. I'm not saying she has to play long, but it's like one of those things.
Okay, but
we gonna get out there. We gonna play.
But play devil's advocate here. You can learn though. You can still learn those aspects, those general aspects that you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're talking about teamwork. You're talking about leadership. You're talking about
accountability,
mastering the craft. You can learn that doing other things though, right? So as a father you can't connect. I know it's the connectivity level for you isn't there, but you can still connect to those core aspects if it was a different sport, right?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Right. For sure. But it's like one of those things, like I don't know what to compare that to. Like honestly,
but teamwork is teamwork though.
Yo, you gonna find it though, Shane. I'm telling you, bro, because I think the same way too. And what made me think that way differently is when I was dating this girl and she played softball, and her father, I swear her father played baseball. I swear. And he was like, yo, he told me, he was like, yo, I didn't know anything about baseball or softball until she wanted to play it. And now, like when I started realizing she was good, I invested in knowing everything about it. And now, like, you know, like,
I mean, a guy that we all know D.
Yeah.
D knew nothing about basketball. He was a
bowler. He was.
He learned everything about basketball after he had his sons.
I no, but he played basketball in high school. He played for Milford.
He learned. I'm talking about. He learned everything, all that knowledge, and all that little stuff he be telling us. He learned after.
Yeah. That's a good example.
It's a good example, but I think I don't know.
That's a good example.
I don't know how to. Yeah, I gave you the example for sure. I definitely gave you
he definitely. But he put that shit on the platter for us.
It's like, I don't know. I just know me. Yeah,
but the thing though is that we all know us, But when you in that, I'm telling you right now, when you in that moment and like, fuck, I didn't think Cassidy would want to learn fucking ballet, right? Like I didn't think she was gonna be a dancer. She's built thick. She's probably gonna play softball. Some shit. Like I'm already just trying to see through it, soccer or something. But even then, like those two sports, like you just kind of like that feeling naturally just fades away, and it goes down to the genuity and the happiness of your child. So like when I genuinely see my kids like happy, yo, I get fucking emotional as hell, bro. Like emotional. I tell Ashley, like, they go, leave me alone. I'm emotional right now. Like, I just see them playing the sport they love, bro. Something about that shit. You'll see when Sage gets older and you put her in like those little like we sign them up for like sport activities like basketball or soccer. When Cassie first played soccer, bro, I almost shed a tear on that fucking field. I shit you not. But I can also agree for you though.
I want to ask y'all though, like for me, I think I also feel that way because I've taught kids how to play basketball, like close family members. Not only my brother, but I had like a cousin that's a girl. I've always had to. I feel like that's always been something I've always been teaching. I feel like if I'm not willing to share something that was special to me and see if she gravitates towards it, I feel like I'm doing a disservice. I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't roll the ball out there and just say, all right, every day for 15 minutes, we just gonna get back here. We gonna get on this Fisher Price. We just gonna sit on the Fisher Price.
Hey, GQ, 15, you know who he sound like?
Minutes.
GQ, you know who he sound like?
Really
you know who he sound like? He sound like our boy. Our boy Roland. The gymnastics guy, the cheerleader guy.
Yeah.
Because then what if those type of situations happen?
Yeah, we to the listeners, the Roland guy is the guy on Instagram where his daughter is a gymnastics. Like he used to do gymnastics in college. Like he went D1. I forgot what school he went to, but now he transitioned. I think his wife was also a gymnastics too in college. So now like they have a daughter and like they be doing like videos of like teaching her, fundamental things, high level things. And there was this one clip where he was like, yo, he kept on doing the same shit over again, like over and over again. And she could not get it. And she was like, yo, like, I don't want to do it. She started crying like, yo, I don't want to do it, Dad. Like, he like, nah, like, I know when you don't want to do it. Like, I know when you quit. I know when you're, huh?
That's OD.
But it goes back to what you're saying and what Lawrence is saying is like, it's that 15 minutes every day, right? But at some point, if she doesn't like it, where's the sand in the line, right? And then now it's like, there's a sand in the line, but like Lawrence always says, it's like, we know our kids. Like, is this motherfucker bullshitting us or they not? You know what I mean? Like, we all know our kids. To some people, they might be like, no, Shane, like, she wants to stop. But you be in the house with her every day, you know when she want to stop because she might do certain things. And it's like, yo, you don't want to stop. You quitting right now. You quitting right now, shorty. Like, you still got it in you.
See, and that's the thing. It's like, yo, if we're just doing 15 minutes, I feel like I've coached for almost
it's been some years. I was in high school.
12 years,
Yeah.
12, 13 years. Probably more than that, because I was like a coach even for Lawrence, which is nuts. When he was at summer
It's
camp.
fucking nuts.
So
This
I
is nuts.
probably closer to 20 years, right? So I know how delicate you have to be with children, man. I'm not the real forceful guy and nothing like that. I can get really into that mode if I see that's what you really want. If that's what you really want, if you want to be the best, we're gonna train to be the best. But in the beginning, it's more like you got that shot doc shirt. I've seen how it's done, man. I've seen how it's done. You know what I'm saying? When you're just doing certain things, you just got to put a ball in a kid's hand.
And the thing, the key word that
if she decides to kick it, she want to do soccer, all right, we do soccer, But
the key thing that you said though, the key thing that you said, key word that you said was being delicacy.
Very delicate.
That is a concept some parents don't get.
That's a
and
gift.
they don't understand. That's a true gift for real. So the fact that you even said that,
I don't have that. Like I'm working.
I don't beat around the bush. And I'm trying to, but that shit is hard.
The fact that you said that with coaching, I feel like is one of the biggest gifts. I feel like that's the same thing as like being patient, right? Because like with me, it's either I'm always on the kids like you're gonna be the best. Like, all right, this nigga suck. All right, yo, just cut him. Like that's me. But like what you're saying is like you can slowly, just like shape them, mold them, and like have that patience with them to be delicate. Like, all right, no, like it's all right. Like you do it like this. All right, we're gonna come back and do it. Like I just don't have that shit in me, and that should translate to me like being a dad. Like slowly I'm doing it because we be doing soccer. Same thing you said. We'll go out for 15 minutes, and then like 8 minutes in it, Nova's like, I'm going inside. And like at first I was like, nah, you not. Like, let's go. And she be getting sad, but now gradually I'll be like, okay. I be doing it so well now that when I come in, Jasmine think that me and Nova had a fight outside. Like that's how good I am now. I'm like, nah. She said she didn't want to do it, and I'm listening to her. We're not gonna do it.
But that's another thing though, is that like there's a difference. There's a very fine line between patience and delicacy. A lot of people think that just because you be patient and you taking time, you're like, all right, I'm not gonna spaz. Do you think you're being delicate? You can still be tough and have patience. You know what I mean? Delicacy, just taking it as like, all right, well, whenever you're ready to go, whenever you're ready to be done, like we're done. Like with us, like it's just kind of off topic, but like even when like timeout, everyone was like, well, how long do you put them in timeout for? I just whenever they feel the need to get up and go, whenever they feel ready to on time me to just say, hey, I'm cool, I'm fine, I'm ready to go, then you come back to society. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with like sports. Just see where the chips may fall. You throw everything. I offer my two a plat of everything. You gonna do whatever. You gotta do something. You can't just sit around my house. So you gotta do something. And we keep them very active. So, and if they don't like something, they don't like something. So, yeah.
I mean, it's I would say I was blessed to be put in a lot of different situations that kind of prepared me for all this shit that's happening now. Like I used to work at Supreme, and I used to do training for little kids. Like this was back, I might have been like 19 or some shit like that. And I was training like babies, like 4 or 5-year-olds. I was, and I'd be out there and, this ain't my kid and nothing like that. And I'm getting paid for it. So I was always super patient. Like, no, it's okay. Just be extra hype about everything. And there's also that aspect where it's like, nobody ever taught me how to do anything that I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I could do that for somebody else and be like, and just fill in those spaces that I missed myself, you know what I mean? My dad didn't show me how to shoot a ball. You know what I'm saying? I learned everything off the cuff. So that's why I was always gravitated towards people that, a lot of fathers, like as me as a basketball player, I gravitated to a lot of fathers that had good families or I thought was good families, and just watch how they do things and just admire that. I admired my wife's relationship with her father, or D. Or D. It was like, yo,
shout out to D, man. I'm the same way with him.
That's a legend.
I'm just like, yo, I see what everybody's doing. I see what it takes to be a great father, and I've seen what it takes to really be patient, because I did the same thing with my little brother. I taught my little brother how to play basketball. So I've seen all the mistakes that I made. Like it really showed me, because I used to be really tough on him at first. I seen his best and worst days. I seen when he got burnt out. You know what I mean? He had his times where he just did not listen to me, and I was just like, damn, this is what it's like having a kid. Like, they're not gonna listen all the time. Like I was just like, yo, it's just hard. You know what I'm saying? And And at the same time, it was like, me and my parents, we have like a really open relationship about stuff. So when he was having trouble in school and stuff, and we used to have arguments, it was like I was getting that side of being a parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, this shit's really tough. I see how I got to be a little bit more calm. I can't be out there just yelling just to yell, because people take and receive things differently. Just because I grew up a certain way doesn't mean you have to. You should grow up better than me. You know what I'm saying? So all of that stuff, man. You just taking all that little stuff, man, and yeah, man. I'm not nervous, man. Shorty got to play basketball.
I'm not nervous. At the end of the day, hey, you just gave a whole prophetic speech. All of a sudden, no matter what, she still got to play. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
You know what's funny, man? I feel the same way too with everything you said. There's certain things in life that prepare you to be who you are, prepare you for your purpose in life, right? That's one of the biggest things I've been asking people. It's like, like, what's your purpose in life? And I asked Jasmine the other day, and she was like, maybe to be a mother. You know what I mean? And with Jasmine's background, she got like a lot of brothers and sisters, raised her cousins, her nephews, her nieces. So like slowly, like, you know what I mean? Like you said, just being in those situations, having patience, sacrificing, it slowly builds you up for your purpose in life, right? And I totally believe that too, man. Like I've been in so many situations and this, that, and the third, that my purpose in life, I feel like is a mentor. You know what I mean? To mentor / father a little bit. You know what I mean? Because been in so many situations where you get talked down on. You got to build character. Like basketball, man, and football is one of the best sports ever to build character. I don't think there's any other sports. Now, I don't know the coaches they have in soccer. I don't know the coaches they got for lacrosse and all them other bullshit ass sports. Yeah, I said it. Bullshit ass sports. But the attitude they have in football and basketball is a winning mentality. And those coaches, you could get talked down so bad, man, that like you would think it's the end of the world, bro. Like I've really seen coaches do that, and all that stuff builds you, man. It builds character. I tell kids this all the time, man. I'm like, yo, bro, don't worry about not playing. Don't worry about not getting in the game. Like, what are you doing to get in the game? The same thing in life transition. When you're not doing good at work, you can't just quit. You got bills. You got a family. You gotta find ways to make it work. You feel me? It's a transition in the life, man. So I totally agree. And the things that happen in life, the small things, we don't necessarily understand it. But when we get to initially our purpose or something that might be our purpose in life, we kind of connect and be like, okay, that's why I went through those situations. That's why I was in the drought. That's why I did this. That's why I did that. To basically, shed light on other people and be the best person you can be. So, man, I salute you for that, man. That delicacy and all the things you've been through, man. Hats off, man.
That shit is definitely a lesson. That shit. I'm sitting here fucking. I'm quiet as shit because I'm just listening because this shit is not the way I thought this episode was gonna go. But I mean, it's definitely some eye-opening shit for somebody who's so young in the fatherhood game to have those core values already. That's something very, very fucking special. Like me, I'm completely rough around the edges when it comes to this shit. I'm the first to say this shit. But one thing I do know is that I'm gonna love them hard, and I'm always gonna try to be better than I am the next day. It was funny, Ashley asked me about what was I going to do for New Year's, like my New Year's resolution. I said, just do better, be a better father, be a better husband to be soon, you know what I mean, be a better businessman. But I know there's going to be tough times, and I know there's going to be times where I fail. There's times where I tell Ashley, I feel like I'm failing as a father today. And I always still love them hard and figure it out. One thing I did learn from basketball, though, shout out to Coach Zim at Alderson. Well, he's retired now. When we was at Alderson Brothers, one thing he taught me, and it stuck with me forever, is that basketball is the only sport that translates in life. Basketball is the only sport that you can fail at something, at an objective, and you can make up for it within seconds. So meaning if you don't get that winning bucket, you don't score, you don't get that defensive stop, you can make up for it on the other end. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I view this shit, is that, hey, Monday was a fucked up day for me, and I'm pretty sure the kids felt my stress, anxiety, whatever it may be. Tomorrow's a new day. It's going to be here. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to wake up. It's going to feel like minutes, and you're going to start fresh. You know what I mean? It's the same thing that correlated, that moved me when it comes to push me to be better and better. Because like the 1 minute I can make somebody cry is the next minute I can make somebody laugh. You know what I mean? It's type of situation. Mm-hmm. So,
yo, one last question I want to ask you, Shane. How has your partner, I guess, help you or put you into positions to be that dad you have or want to be? You know what I mean? Like, what things has she done to basically help you be the dad that you see yourself being, or that delicacy, like allow you to, you know, be delicate or do the things that you see yourself doing? How has she helped you or prepared you or supported you in certain situations? And one of the reasons I wanted to ask that, while you think about it, is just, you know, one of the things that we've been talking about in a lot of these episodes is, you know, it's great to be a dad. It's great to be a partner. But sometimes we need that help on the other hand to, like, you know, push us or encourage us or support us in certain ways. And I think a lot of times people think it's a one-way show. It's like, yo, I get on the dad track and I just keep on going. I go through bumps, I go through this. But it's like, nah, yo, like there's somebody on the other end that's like, they guiding you. They kind of seeing the way for you. You know what I mean? They fill you up sometimes when you low on gas. They get the windshield wiping for you when, you know, when things need to be seen and not being heard. So I just wanted to ask that before we wrapped up. Like, how's your wife had like really supported you, you know, as being a father?
I think the biggest thing I can say she supports me with is just sometimes just giving me time to clear my head. And giving me a little bit of grace, man, because
get grace.
You know, we not only moved to Gainesville, Florida. You know, I had to get a new job. You know, I wasn't at my job long enough to get the leave for having a baby.
We're you know what I'm saying?
Then we get a house. Now the in-laws here. I think. Just her just being like, okay, if I need, because once the baby got, she really don't want to leave the house. She wants to stay with the baby all the time, which I try to tell her, we still got to live our life. You got to be able to do something.
Yo, this nigga's a walking prophet, bro. He's preaching. Yo, we need to have you back. Fuck this shit.
It's just like, if I say, man, I got to go to the bar and just watch a game. Let me go to a corner, watch a game, chill, and just get my mind together, man. She allows me to do that at times, man. You know, just because I'm still figuring everything out myself as well. You know, just being, you know, keep it 1,000. Like, my father wasn't around there for me. You know what I'm saying? I had my stepfather, but he was like my older brother more than a father to me. Like, you know what I mean? He taught me how to play spades. We out gambling, playing spades. I'm like 11. It's 1 o'clock. I'm running cards. Like, our whole relationship was totally different. You know what I mean? He taught me a lot of man stuff for sure. And just stuff about the streets, just being a man and just being able to protect yourself and, you know, just not let nobody punk you and shit like that. But now it's like, I got to be a father in a different way, man. I got to learn how to show love more. Yeah. All of that stuff's important. And I feel like her giving me that space to really get my head together, it really just helps me out because I fuck around, go crazy in here, man. I spend way too much time in the house. So It's a blessing.
Do you ever find times? I know we're trying to wrap this shit up, but you touched on something, and me and Ashley talk about it a lot too. Because as somebody who grew up, I was not fatherless, but my dad wasn't present. My dad was present, but he wasn't present like how I wanted him to be. So a lot of shit that I know about being a father, I'm just learning on the fly, right? And and that can be oftentimes tough for a spouse who comes from a traditional household. Both parents in the house, come multiple.
Sure.
So does your wife ever find it frustrating at times for you just not knowing? And how do you react in those situations?
For sure. She, I'm a person, like, I'm very literal, which it doesn't always help. I'm very literal. Like, if she tells me to do something, like, I don't know what I don't know, so I always ask and add questions. To her, she's like, yo, why she ain't acting stupid? I'm like, yo, I really don't know. And she'd be like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It helps having her parents here because, like, then it's like, yo, I'll ask her mother things and just like, yo, I don't know what I don't know, man. I'm learning on the fly like anybody else. Like, I know about taking care of a baby because I used to have to babysit and do all that stuff at a young age. But at the same time, as far as like being a leader of your household, as a man, it's good to have my father-in-law there to be able to teach me some of that stuff. It's different, yo. What?
Nah, I was
we're not about to throw no salt.
Yeah, we ain't gonna jump into.
We're gonna leave that shit where it's at.
The household, we talked about that in the past, but
you can still be a leader. You can still be a leader of the household and still keep shit fluid, all right, motherfucker. That's just the way shit is, all right. Oh man, damn.
This, I ain't gonna lie, man. This was probably the most refreshing.
Yeah,
episode.
I needed this.
I needed this. Niggas be coming in here, they be having aggressive opinions and this, that, and the third, and
they just happy to be on the show. They just happy to be on the show. They just like think I'm just happy to be here. No, motherfucker, we needed you.
Nah, but I always like talking to you outside of basketball because I feel like your thoughts are always logical. And you always come from a logical place of like thinking, man. And you could just tell just from us speaking to you, man, like it was just very, very refreshing. And also, I believe mature. Like I just hear matureness in your voice and your thought process.
It's crazy,
of like
man.
All the things you saying, bro. I'm not lying, bro. Like I'm like, because we've been hooping for a long time, bro. And I'm like, I could really just hear that shit in like your tone, your voice, everything you say, bro. Like just the maturity level has really gone up, man.
Man, I look at it like this, man. When I'm like, you really know me just from like playing basketball or whatever for the most part. And for me, it's hard for me to turn that shit off. Like once I step into the gym, like I tell people, like I listen to diss tracks before I go play basketball. Like I listen to like angry shit before I go play basketball.
Oh, he's an
animal. And then during those years when I was playing basketball, I was going through things like my wife has MS. She was diagnosed during that time. I was going through a tough time. So basketball is really the place where I'm going to get a lot of that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But off the court, just me being regular old me and having to be a father and a husband and shit. Gotta be real logical, man. I gotta always have a clear head, man. My wife's a lot more of a high head than me. So I gotta make sure shit's tight.
Yeah. Hey, yo, if looks could kill, Q got these looks like, yo, she be on her shit. Like, I know she.
A lot of people don't know that about her, man.
They don't. I've seen it before at a young age. I've seen that shit before. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she don't play.
She don't. That she don't. But listen, guys, GQ, it's an honor. Blessed to have you on here. Shane, shout out your Twitter, the infamous Twitter page, your Instagram. Let them know your handle. Let them know to follow you. And I know you got the insides of all this shit. He's still heard about this Tory Lane shit just as much as I am, if not more.
Oh,
you find everything
man.
there.
Don't even mention that, man. Don't even mention that, yo.
They gonna flag us.
I'm not mentioning it because I like actually followed the case, like followed.
Yeah, you like my man's. My man's from the dude I went to West Virginia. I went to West Virginia with. He the guy that put me on the Tory. He's the same way. Like I had said something in the chat. He let off 50 messages on me, like screenshots, links, everything. He's like, yo, watch how you talk, yo. Like really telling me, like, watch how you talk, bro. So I already know, like, I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, man.
No, we're not doing that. Let's just say, yo, it's sad to see black people. It's sad to see what happened to both of the black people involved. Everybody, people were hurt. That's it, man. But you can catch me on Twitter, The Kid Fresh, just how it sounds, THEKIDFRESH, and then Instagram, _kid_fresh. And yeah, catch me on IG, man, and Twitter, man. I'm always having a little fun on there.
A lot of heated discussions.
I'm not a secret agent like Shane.
Oh yeah, he's
I worked for a while. I thought he was James Bond. I thought he was out here work for the State Department.
Basically, that's basically what he is.
I do work for the government, but I don't be posting stuff that much like that. I be on ghosts a lot of times.
Yeah, man.
But listen, y'all, the Kid Fresh, we appreciate you blessing us with all this fucking knowledge. I'm fucking blown away. This is probably like GQ said, this shit is mad refreshing to be able to sit down with a calm person and understand their way of thinking and all the fucking knowledge that just was spewing from you was highly appreciated. With that being said, some more information, the socials, Diaper Dads Podcast. We on Apple Podcasts. We on YouTube as well. That's why you'll see our beautiful faces there every week. Follow us on Instagram, diaper.dads, DIAPER.DADS. Catch us on Spotify as well. We over there too. And Anchor for those if those people are using that too. I don't know if they are, but they may be. But listen, y'all, we will catch you guys next week. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. We love y'all, and we out.
Peace.